First, do your best. That was the rule in our house growing up. We didn't always get it right, but my parents never stopped believing in us. Sometimes their belief in us was stronger than our own. And because of that, we learned to trust in the process. And that's what this story teaches us. Don't give up. Trust in the process. The promise kept. Then one day, a tiny green shoot pushes through the soil. The farmer stops to admire it, his heart swelling with pride and relief. This is the moment that justifies all the work, all the waiting, all the whispered hopes. In that one plant, the farmer sees the promise kept and the future unfolding, the gift of green. As the days grow warmer, the green shoot becomes a strong stalk, reaching up to greet the sun. More stalks join it, forming a protective ring around the open field. Now, instead of emptiness, there is life. Instead of silence, there is the rustle of leaves in the wind, the gift of gold. Then the stalks begin to bow under the weight of tiny golden seeds. The field, once barren, is transformed into a sea of waving wheat. The farmer walks among the rows, his hands brushing against the heavy heads, knowing that his harvest is not measured in gold, but in the bounty before him. The gift of sharing. Once the wheat is gathered, the farmer and his family enjoy the fruits of their labor. They share their harvest with friends and neighbors, their table groaning under the weight of their bounty. The simple act of sharing reminds them that true wealth is not just what you gather, but also what you give. The gift of bread. From the harvested wheat, loaves of bread are made, filling the house with the smell of warmth and nourishment. Each slice of bread tells the story of the sun, the soil, and the seed. It is a reminder that the most basic things in life often hold the deepest meaning. The gift of hope. Every evening as the sun dips below the horizon, the farmer and his family gather at the table. The day's work is done, and now it's time for rest and stories. The gift of wisdom. Over the years, the farmer's children grow up listening to tales of the land, of planting and harvesting, of challenges faced and lessons learned. They learn about the importance of caring for the earth and the value of hard, honest work. The gift of family. As the seasons turn into years, the farmer's children take turns helping in the fields. It's a chance for them to learn, to contribute, and to bond with each other over their shared responsibilities. The cycle of life continues, teaching them the most valuable lessons. The gift of legacy. One day, the farmer's hands, weathered and strong, will pass on the tools to his children. It will be their turn to till the soil, plant the seeds, and watch as life bursts forth from the earth. The legacy of the farm will continue, carrying with it the wisdom of generations past. The gift of life. Every grain of wheat sown carries within it the potential for life. It is a reminder of nature's resilience and the farmer's role in nurturing life, from tiny seed to nourishing grain. So today, wherever you are in your own journey, remember the farmer and his seeds. If you have planted dreams, keep watering them. If you have hopes, tend to them with care. And if you face long waits, trust that patience is a virtue that will bloom in its own time. Thank you for listening. If you liked this story, please leave a comment down below. See you next time. Once upon a time, in a village nestled between rolling hills and a sparkling river, lived a farmer. His fields were his pride and joy, and every year he sowed seeds of the finest grains, hoping for a bountiful harvest. But this year, something was different. The farmer wasn't just planting seeds, he was planting hope. He had chosen seeds that were not just resilient, but would thrive in the toughest conditions. The days passed, weeks turned into months, and still there was no sign of life in the field. The villagers, with their well-meaning advice, suggested that the farmer switch to easier crops or maybe his field was cursed. Doubts crept into the farmer's heart. Was this new type of seed really going to grow? Would his efforts go to waste? Just when his resolve was about to break, one morning he noticed something new. A tiny sprout breaking through the soil. It was delicate, almost hidden, but to the farmer it felt like a miracle. That small sign was proof that the seeds were alive and that his labor had not been in vain. Sometimes the first glimpse of progress is all we need to keep moving forward. Life, of course, does not stay simple. Soon after, weeds creep in and try to choke the plants. Heavy rains flooded the field. Hot winds threatened to dry the soil. Yet the farmer continued. He pulled the weeds, protected the young plants, and repaired the damage. Once, while surveying his field, the farmer came across a little plant that had managed to withstand the storm, but its leaves were wilted and the stalk was broken. The farmer could have easily dismissed it as a casualty of the storm, but instead he gently straightened the stalk, poured water around it, and covered it with soil. "Do not judge a tree by its bent," he murmured, remembering a saying from his grandfather. The lesson was clear. Obstacles are not signs to stop, but chances to prove our persistence. As time went on, the farmer's work became a rhythm. Rise with the sun, water the field, guard against pests, rest at night. Day after day, season after season. It may look ordinary, even dull, but this steady pattern was what made growth possible. In life, success often comes not from dramatic bursts of energy, but from the quiet beat of consistency. Then one day, the transformation occurred. The once empty field was now a living sea of green. Stalks rose tall, leaves shimmered in the wind, and blossoms promised the harvest ahead. What was once barren ground now overflowed with life. It was a picture of what patient work could do, a reminder that beauty takes time to appear. Weeks turned into months, and soon the season turned. The plants bowed their heads, heavy with ripening grain. The stalks, now golden, rustled in the gentle breeze, creating a symphony of colors and sounds. The air was thick with the sweet scent of ripening crops, a fragrance that spoke of the hard work that had been poured into the land. The time had come for the harvest. With the help of his friends and family, the farmer gathered the fruits of his labor, grain, vegetables, and seeds for the future. The baskets were full, but the farmer's heart was fuller still. This moment was more than just food for the table. It was proof that every drop of water, every hour of waiting, and every battle with weeds was worth it. The harvest was joy, but it was also justice, the natural reward of steady work. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows across the field, the farmer looked out over his land. His eyes, though tired, twinkled with satisfaction. The sight of the thriving field, a testament to his dedication, filled him with a deep sense of fulfillment. He knew that the real richness wasn't just in the bounty of his harvest, but in the quiet dignity of a life well lived, a life of purpose and perseverance. The story doesn't end with the harvest. After setting aside some grain for the winter, the farmer carefully selected a handful of seeds for the next planting. This simple act carried hope into the future. It meant that the work of today would feed not only the present, but also the seasons to come. Each seed held a story, a promise, and a reminder that consistency builds legacies that outlast us. And so the cycle began anew, a testament to the timeless bond between the earth, the seeds, and the farmer who understood that true growth, like nature's rhythm, is a patient and enduring dance.